Here we
Hi
are.
everybody, this is Andy.
And this is Kim, and together we're the I Wonder
Wonder
Sisters.
Sisters.
And so we just want to say hello. For us, it is Sunday. Not sure when you'll be watching it, but we just want to say happy Sunday. We're trying to get this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, good?
Yeah.
All right. So happy Sunday or whatever day it is that you decide to watch this video. We appreciate it and we thank you very much.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, definitely. Happy 2015.
Let's drink to that.
Definitely. It sounds strange to say. Look at this. So, so we have a lot to share with you. Because I don't think we did a video last week, but so today is kind of like a conversations with the I Wonder Sisters / Love and Libations / video response to Gabby, Mistress of the Dark Moon, on books, because she wanted to know if we bought any books lately that we want to share, and we bought a couple things we want to share. So it's part haul as well. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let Andy get started. You know, it was Andy's idea to talk about today collaboration. That's the first thing we want to share with you. Some of our views and experiences from working with people when it may not necessarily click, and what that may mean, because it's not a negative thing, and also working with people when it does click, when it does fall into its proper places, and what that's like. So, Chloe,
We've got animal issues today.
I know. Dharma, our cat, our tiger, is in my altar shelf behind me. He's such a beautiful cat, but he's so bad. He is so bad. So if I look around, it's because I'm just trying to make sure he's not just bringing it all down. So anyway, so I'm gonna ask Andy to just share with you all why she really wanted to talk about this topic today, and sort of what we were talking about.
Kim and I revel in our partnership as business partners, but also as soul sisters and BFFs.
Here.
And we were talking the other day about the beauty of collaboration, and especially for artists, you get a whole new perspective on your creation, and you also get to share with other people what they're doing, and it helps you learn about them. And Kim and I have something very special. We also have Chloe in between us. Okay. There she is. Of course, there are times when you'll be creating that you will want to be solo. But the beauty of collaboration is that you have your energies, your creative energies, and the other person has their creative energies, and together you create another energy. And it's something, it's an entity that exists all on its own, and it's born because the two of you, or however many you are, have come together to be creative together. Kim and I bounce ideas off each other. We read when we post on iwondersisterhood.com. We read our posts to each other to get feedback, and I think it's a very healthy and productive and inspiring in many ways kind of relationship. I know that hearing her stuff when she reads to me inspires me. And I think I'm a better writer because we write together.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go on.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, it's really interesting because I was sharing with Andy, and I mean she already like really knew this about me because we had talked about it many times before, but just recently, a couple days ago, I was sharing with her the tremendous growth that I have experienced as an artist, but especially as a person. Um, Being in this partnership with Andy and having the advantage of not just having the same goals and dreams, and which is what brought I Wonder Sisterhood to life, but to also be fortunate enough to have this sort of harmonious friendship and sisterhood that we do have, you know, and I was telling her how much I have realized that I have grown as a human being just through this, through our friendship, through our working together, creating together, because I was never really a person that, I don't, well, not, I'm still not a person that takes to people easily. I'm very social, but as far as being up close to someone, having someone really in my life, sharing my goals and dreams and things like that, it's pretty difficult for me. So when I find that, it's really special. And for years, you know, I've shared this with Andy because it gives me so much gratitude. For so many years, I've wanted to do something like what we're doing, but of course, I wouldn't have known it would have been I Wonder Sisterhood because I hadn't even met Andy. I was not even anywhere near her. So, but in my heart, and in my soul there was a yearning to collaborate with someone, and I kept choosing people, you know, who at the time were good acquaintances, even friends, and I tried it a few times and it just organically fell apart and just never, you know, happened. The creation was never born because the timing and the people just weren't right. I wasn't right for what they wanted to do, and they weren't right for what it is that I wanted to do. So we really want to get that across to you as well, that if you try something, you have an idea, and you start working with someone, and then 6 months down the road, it just kind of all fizzles out, to not see that as something negative at all, because you can learn so much from that. I mean, have you had the experiences before of trying to collaborate?
Only in New York years and years ago. You know, and I was a very different person then.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But I've I always enjoy when I have the opportunity. I always do enjoy collaboration. Emily and I once collaborated on a piece for a New York company that was going green.
Okay.
And we did it for her niece who worked for the company, and we had the best time, and we produced something really, really good.
Yeah. You know, and it's before I started working with Andy, I couldn't really picture a lot of the ways in which we collaborate so easily now. I couldn't picture how that could be because I've always tried to do it with other people, and the harmony, just the flow wasn't there. So it was difficult, and you'll find that if you're trying to collaborate on a life's dream, a project, or anything with someone, and your energies are just not really not coming together, that it is difficult. It feels more difficult. It's work. You know, you try to write something together and you're like in one direction and the person might be in another direction, and neither of you is right or wrong. It's just you're not in the same place. And I even said to Andy when she shared with me before we even came to New Mexico, that she and a former friend of hers had written together. I was like, there's no way in the world I could have. How did you do that? Because I have my thoughts, you've got your thoughts, you know. So I couldn't really understand it then, but now because of, the synergy and just this magic that happens when you come together with someone, and you're really on the right path, it really is easy. If you're a person out there like myself who is solitary and feels like you want to create that way, I totally get that. And separately, Andy and I do create separately as well, which then, because this partnership is so blessed, which then causes us to come back together when we create and when we're doing something for our Wonder Sisterhood, and it inspires that. It adds to it, so we love each other's work separately, and Andy's writing always inspired me. When she first shared with me that she was a writer, and she would write things, and she started writing her blog, which is AJ Down the Rabbit Hole, on managing mental illnesses and depression, and the way that she wrote, I thought was like, it has this magic to it. And I told her, I was like, you're like one of my favorite writers. Like, I'm a fan of how she writes. And then she's like, oh, I love the way you write. No, and I was like, oh, thank you. I don't really think I have a voice, but and so, but through this, through our working together, when we finally got to the place where we knew we were supposed to work together, I feel just like you do. I am a much better writer. To me, I used to always consider myself a skilled writer. I was a trained writer. In other words, I had written so much that I felt like, okay, I could write. But through Andy, my writing to me now has heart to it, and that's the way her writing always was to me. When she read it, I thought, oh, I can hear her. Like, when she's reading something to me, I can hear her in it. And I'm just finding that to be when I reread my work now, but it comes from a total growth, through a relationship, through a friendship, of me learning how to be more open and feeling more safe,
We're always reflected in the eyes of the people around us who are closest to us. And I had a psychiatrist years ago, when I was still in my 20s, say to me, when you lose sight of who you are, look into the eyes of someone who loves you, and you'll see yourself. And I feel that way about my relationship with Kim. I see myself so much more clearly because I have her critical eye on me. And it makes me a better person, a better creative, so many things.
Yeah.
And it gives me a kind of psychic energy that I wouldn't have if I were just creating by myself and living by myself.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have it either. And so many times, my cousin, who is our sister as well, Mo, you'll hear us talk about, in South Carolina, she would say to me many years ago, every time I would attempt these collaborations and they would fizzle out, or the other person would lose interest, or I would lose interest, she would say to me, Kimmy, you're a great writer, you're a great speaker, you can do it by yourself. I don't understand why you keep looking for a partner. And I'm like, I know what you're saying. I feel capable of doing it by myself. I feel capable of writing a blog, of doing a show by myself, but there was something really missing. I told her, I was like, I love that. What I wanted was what we have. I love that bouncing off of each other, and that third energy where, you might have heard like some people who are artists say that their business is alive, or they'll say, like Eckhart Tolle one time said, my book A New Earth is alive, like it's actually alive. It has its own energy outside of just the energy of me, Eckhart. And that's the way I feel about I Wonder Sisterhood. That was what I always wanted, was to create something that was alive, that when people would read it, and that when they would hear me speaking, that they would feel it, not just hear it, not just process it intellectually, but that they would feel it. And in order for that to happen, your creation needs to have an energy, a life of its own, outside of just your personality, your human self. And that's what we have been able to do, and do, like, our Wonder Sisterhood is just us. We can't get tired of doing it unless we just get tired of being us. I mean, honestly, like, unless we just sick of us, there'll always be an I Wonder Sisterhood, because it's totally us. When we feel like shit, we say it. When we feel great, we say it. When we feel, oh, it's just an okay day, but I'm in gratitude anyway about it, we say it. It's us, and that was what I always wanted. But it just, the timing, the partners, it wasn't right. And it wasn't just not right for me, it wasn't right for them either. Hopefully many of them have gone on to do creative things in which they feel the same way that we feel now. So it is very inspiring. And as Andy said too, if you think about, if you've never collaborated with anyone as closely as we do, believe me, I can understand the trepidation that will come with that. That's why we really, really stress the fact that it needs to be, to me, almost divine.
Well, I also think too that when you think of collaboration, you think of two people becoming one. And Kim and I are very cognizant of the fact that we're each individuals. We're very different in many ways, and it's our combined energies that create the I Wonder Sisterhood. And we don't consider ourselves in any way mitigated by each other. We're very strong women, and we each have our own thing.
Yeah.
When our business takes off, I will be doing something quite different than Kim will be doing, but it will still be in collaboration.
Indeed.
But we will always be our individual selves coming together to create a third entity, which is the I Wonder Sisterhood, and also this relationship.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of times, what a lot of trepidation comes with the thought of thinking that you're supposed to be one with anybody. I mean, Andy knows I don't believe in that at all. I just don't believe in that whole, like, merging. We're always going to be individuals, having our own, like, natural thing that we bring to a project. As Andy said, like, I'm a techie, I call myself like the conscious spiritual geek. I'm a techie. I love anything that has to do with learning stuff on the computer, apps, software, playing around with things. I just love that energy. Andy is very open to it. She learns it, like, she'll say, okay, well, show me how to do that, because I need to know how to do it. Okay, great, but she doesn't necessarily have that love or passion for it the way I do, where I don't feel like it's work at all. And then there are so many things about Andy that she has a sense of, which is something that I've had to learn. She has a sense of devotion. She has a sense of commitment to something, and she also always makes sure that that this is authentic, that that everything is clear, everything is out in the open. She never feels something and then, like, a month later throws it up in your face. She just wakes up and be like, okay, I just need to talk to you. And as a person who's not so much like that, you know what I mean? It's refreshing to me, and it has allowed for there to be a clean space here. You know what I mean? Like, it's difficult to create with someone something beautiful when you got all of this stuff going on in your head about each other and you never say it. You just like resent it. You know what I mean? And then you're trying to come together to create something beautiful. You know, you need to be in an honest partnership, an honest friendship. You really do. And I think that's one of the things that really makes what we do, our creating, so easy. You know, it's because Andy will just be like, I'm doing shadow work and I just have to say this, you know, and I'll just start bitching. You know what I mean? And she lets me bitch, and, you know, and we both know how crazy we are. And we support it. And we do what we can to help each other, however that comes naturally. So if you choose to collaborate with someone, don't feel like you have to be in their shoes and do what they're doing, and they be in your shoes and do what you're doing. Some of the best collaborations, like I watch a lot of people, listen to them on YouTube, and I hear a lot of very successful blogging teams say that, you know, like one person will say, I suck with checking email. Like, if your email's not answered, it would be my fault. And then another person's like, I'm so on top of that. Like, for me, it's so natural. It's like drinking coffee. I'm going to always answer emails. And all three of these ladies that I was watching one time, who were best friends and who also have a business together, said that very same thing, that I do this well, you know I suck at that. So I was like, if you love it and you can do it, you do it. And so they know where they are in the partnership, in the friendship. They know what each other's strengths are. They know what their weaknesses are, because they're honest with themselves and they're honest with each other. You know, they're not like, nobody's going into it like, oh, I'm so super organized, and when you know you're not. You know what I mean? So I really feel like if you're going to manifest a collaboration like this, if it's what you desire, that you need to be ready to, you know, be in a relationship with someone that's authentic, you know, and
it's also very intimate. I mean, there's a certain amount of courage required to collaborate, because you have to be open about who you are.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, sadly, I think most people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Or are afraid to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people are afraid that if they're fully themselves, that someone will not like me. And the truth of the matter is, to me anyway, that when you're fully yourself, there will be people that will not like you. But they obviously are not the people that are meant to be in your circles, you know. And the people that like you and love you, you know, I like being known. You know, they know you. They know they get to learn what your boundaries are. You know, they get to learn where you're, you know, like your pushing point. Like Andy will be like, it's like Andy will be like, you know, I mean, sometimes I just get spazzy. Bless you. Sometimes I just get spazzy, and like, you know, I get, because I have so much that, like, in my head, like, oh, okay, we do this, do that, do this, do that. Okay, after that, do this. You know, I'm a Virgo, and I'm like trying to rack all of this stuff up in my head, and then I just get spazzy. Like, if anything else is going on, I'm like, Derma, stop! Oh, did you? Oh, the dogs, you know. And he'll be like, honey, you need to calm down. You know, but like, she doesn't get all freaked out about it. She just like, you know, you just need to calm down. You know, can only do one thing at a time or whatever. You know, did you take your medication?
That's a big one. That's a big one.
You know, and stuff, because I just get, like, I'm not really a type A person, but sometimes I have a type A brain. Like, I don't want to be a type A person, but I have a type A brain that gets in my way. Yeah, I really do. And I don't want to be labeled as a type A person. I don't, but you know, the truth of the matter is, a part of me is like that. So there's such a great balance. But
I mean, I'm so far from being a type A personality that, like Kim said, we really do balance each other out in ways that are psychologically helpful to each other.
Yes.
You know, when I get really fatoutsed, she knows what to say to me.
I know.
Or she'll laugh at me, and that is what I need.
You know, because, and to me, Auntie gets more in like internal, like she takes things that I do find funny, and you know she'll like internalize it, and then it's like this deep shadow work, you know, and stuff. And I'm just like, girl, please, you know. And I listen, and you know, I understand now from listening to her that no, this is important to me. So if it's important to me, then it is important. So I know now that even though to me, I'll like, you know, say, oh, I'm not even thinking about that, Angie. She'll say, but I am. And so it's a listening and really being in tune with one another. And I think it makes things so much more beautiful, because just imagine how to try to create something beautiful, whether it's a blog, a book, a film, whatever, a song, and be internally, you know, at kind of like resentful or at war with someone. There's no way that that's going to work. It can only last but for so long, you know. And so we, you know, we're really in gratitude for that, because also we, you know, we can tell you what a really great collaboration feels like, and we can tell you what one that isn't right feels like. But the fact is, there's a magic also behind it. There's a magic behind all connections that are pure and beautiful, and that we can't, you know, no one can tell you, you know, you'll just feel and have to trust that if it's something that you want to do, or if you have a project that maybe just requires another creative to be working with you, trust that if you put that out there and you know it, that the universe is going to respond to that and put things in place. But it takes patience as well, because you might go through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different people and nothing ever happened. So, so for those of you who desire it when it's right, it's a beautiful and inspiring thing. And you know, I want to stress against something that Angie said, because if you have any sort of fear over losing yourself or anything like that, you know, first of all, I think strong people come together. I don't think any great partnership is built on one person being weak and the other person picking up the slack. I really don't think that. Might be like a dysfunctional need that they both have, but it's not a great partnership. You know, we both, you know, stand on our own 2 feet, and we have passions that we share, but we also have passions separately as well that are just as strong and vibrant. So so just to know that you don't lose yourself in a real true partnership, but a divine partnership that that is really like connected to your soul's work. There is no losing yourself. You really only become more. You know, you become more. And so we're grateful for that. We have so many things, other things we want to share too. So now we're going to go into love and libations. Cheers. So we want to talk with you today about doTerra, and most of you who have watched our videos know that we work with doTerra essential oils. We're spiritual coaches. Our work, what we offer is on our wondersisterhood.com, but one of the tools that we love to use for our own lives and in our coaching experiences is essential oils. And you can tell them about doTerra, because I like for them to know the difference, because a lot of people, like, there's fragrance oils, there's also other types of basic essential oils that are not therapeutic. So
right, doTerra is unique in that they are the only therapeutic grade pure essential oils. The oils are very strong. You need use only a drop of one.
Indeed.
To reap the benefits, and we have used them for spiritual things, for physical things, for emotional things, and they're divine.
Yeah.
They're divine. And even a scent that doesn't sit right with you at first, but it may be a blend that you need, after a while you begin to love it.
Yeah. Because they're so natural. I mean, there's nothing added. Like Angie and I sent out some samples to people, and one of the people that we sent them out to was my cousin Mo. And so I made sure that I really explained to her that they're pure. This is pure plant tree essential oil extract. None of them have a base. Like there's no jojoba oil base, olive oil base. There's no base. They're completely the extract. So that's why they're so incredibly potent. And if you make the mistake of taking too much, like many of them are made to be taken internally. And if you put too much, believe me, you will be tasting it in a very strong way for a long, long time. It's not like in a half hour you're going to forget you put too much lavender in your mouth. You know what I mean? It's like I've done it. For instance, I like lavender in my water, because anything that'll chill me out, I'm all about that. And so I put lavender in my water, but there have been times I've put too much lavender, like a drop and a half. It's really too much for this much water, and I've actually like consumed it and then didn't put any more in there and go rinse it out, fill it up again a couple times before the lavender actually dissipates. So when we say they're strong, they're strong. And so we love working with them. I mean, we both have our favorites because we use some similarly and others for different individual things. The emotional blends are wonderful. Clary Calm is one of Andy's favorites.
Clary Sage, geranium, and I don't know what else is in it.
So good.
But those are two of my favorite fragrances. And I put a little dab of Clary Calm on my pillow at night, and I sleep like a baby.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. We put it in the diffuser. There are many that I like. I use lavender.
Kim has used Clary Calm on Chloe.
Yes. Yes, exactly. At night, I massage. You know, the doTerra can be used on your pet. You know, and I massage her every night, and so I try to switch up the blends a bit. But the Clary Calm I've used quite a bit on her, and she just absolutely loves it, and it's just effective in so many ways. Emotionally, you know, it really calms you down, but it's also very healing as well. I love, there's one called Balance that I use a lot that is for, you know, people with ADD tendencies, hyperactivity in the brain. So it's also something that just brings you in and calms you down and allows you, people like myself, to be able to focus on something and be able to start it and finish it. It's beautiful for that. So if you have any, and it smells wonderful. So if you have any issues with like not being able to focus because there's so much going on here, you're like starting this and then starting that and starting 5 other things and not finishing anything. Balance is wonderful for that. And also too, I'm an angel. The sun is like can you explain to them a bit about I don't really have the proper wording. They don't build up in your system like a medicine.
Right, right. They pass through you. They don't collect, say, in your liver or in your kidneys. And I'm talking about the ones that can be ingested now. Yeah. They get used and then they get eliminated. And so you can't really hurt yourself with essential oils. You can use too much.
Yeah.
But trust me when I say, if you do, you will know it instantly.
Instantly. If you had some doTerra, you know it immediately. And what I liked about when I was sharing with Andy that I was reading in some of the information about doTERRA, that as Angie says, you take it and then it naturally is eliminated, because oftentimes I would take like maybe a little lavender, and then if I felt like anxious a couple hours later, I would think like a medication, like, oh, it's now time to take it again. But I could take it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like if you take, for instance, like if you're using balance in a diffuser, um, and it calms you, it brings you into focus, you know, and then maybe like at the end of the day or a couple hours later, maybe you might go back to your overactive brain, and find yourself feeling a little off. You can take it again, you know, use it again. And as I said, if you don't have a diffuser, which they're wonderful, I put it in my hand and then I just cup it like this, and that's how I first began to use them. So you can take them when you need them. In other words, it's also not like a medication in that if you have a prescription, it says take twice a day, and you just took one, you know, just because you feel goofy 2 hours later doesn't mean you can take another one. But with the oils, you can do that. So we wanted to share some information with you because doTerra is having like this wonderful, wonderful special. So if you wanted to sign up with doTerra, and it's up to you. I'll tell you in a minute how you can work it. But if you want to sign up, Angie and I signed up with the Family Physician Kit, which was only like $150, and we're still using a lot of it. Okay.
And some amazing oils come in it
Frankincense.
and oregano that are, when they are sold separately,
Yeah.
very expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Frankincense in the doTerra line is like 80 something, almost $90, but it's pure. And also remember that doTerra is huge on paying planters, farmers, people that harvest these oils, a decent salary. And so that's the reason why they are more expensive than another oil. You might pick up a frankincense for $20.
Yeah,
but
they put a lot of their profits back into the creators of the oils.
Yes, indeed, and that's very important to them. And when you think about it, when you value someone, and you give them what you feel that they are worth, or as much as you can give them that they're worth, they perform differently, they work differently. There's a different energy that goes into a product when you're not paying somebody like 5 cents an hour, but you're paying them enough money so that they can do like you do and eat. They can feed their families, you know, they can have a quality of life. And so because doTerra likes to do this and it's so important to them, that there's no middleman in there, you know.
Right, there are no distributors, there are no agents.
Yeah.
There is nothing like that. The oils go directly from the growers and the harvesters to the company.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful experience working with them. So in the next 2 weeks, for people that sign up, if you purchase a kit that is $200, if you spend $200 with doTerra, couple things happen. You get a free frankincense,
a large free
bottle of frankincense, and you also get $100 towards your next purchase. So the frankincense is like, you know, almost $100, and then you're actually getting $100 credit towards your next purchase that you make. And there's a couple ways, you know, like I have learned that people do it. Like Angie and I choose a continual process of learning, working, sharing these oils with people because we know that they're incorporated into what we do, into our lives, and into our spiritual coaching. Some people choose to get into doTerra for themselves. So they place an order, they join doTerra, and basically every month they buy things that they want to try, things their family needs, things that their pet needs, things they need, and so they use it in that way. Because you get like a free, like a $35 free membership or something for a year that you don't pay with the $200 order. So we just want to let everybody know that we have 2 more weeks of getting free frankincense, and 2 more weeks of getting the free $100 credit towards the next purchase if you spend $200 with them. So maybe you are joining doTerra. We need to plug up. Is that thing over there? Charger. Look, I'm just watching the thing count down. We're up because we still have a little ways to go. Sorry, guys. All right, there we go. Okay, so sorry. And the sun is shifting.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to be playing around with editing soon.
I just wanted to say something about frankincense and why that promotion is such a good one. Frankincense is good for almost everything. Viruses, bacterial infections, skin problems. You can ingest it. You can apply it. You can diffuse it and just work with the aroma of it. It's good for headaches. It's good for skin problems. It's good for just about anything. And that's why it's so highly prized.
Exactly. And if you want to know the science and behind frankincense and why, there's actually some great videos on YouTube. I cannot think of the doctor's name. If you put in like doTerra doctor, and then put frankincense, or just put frankincense lectures on there, you can get into all of the science and the medicine, the biology behind why it is such a powerful healing tool. So you don't have to just be like, oh, okay, it's, I just believe in frankincense. It's not about that at all. With these oils, there's scientific and biological reasons why each one works the way that it does.
Right.
So there's a lot on frankincense, if you want to take the time. And I'll look up a couple that I had watched and put their links to for you. But it's some great information. So anyway, so if you are interested in doTerra itself, whether you're interested in becoming, as Andy and I, coaches and teachers using the product, then we can certainly help you do that. I mean, but if you're just interested in joining doTerra and having it be a resource for your own health and the health of your family, then you certainly, I mean, it's up to you how you choose to use it. But we just wanted to let you know about that special because the frankincense is so amazing. So once again, it's 2 more weeks, and today's January the 4th, in case you might be watching this at another time. So there's 2 more weeks of spending $200, in which you get these amazing kits. I think there's a kit for $275 as well. But we're talking about a lot of freaking oils, like a lot of oils. Like Andy and I bought the $150 kit like October or something, and we just mix it all together when the new stuff comes, and we're still using a whole lot of those bottles. So and you will also get, besides the free frankincense, you'll also get $100 credit as well towards your next order. So we just want to let you know you can contact us through YouTube or iwondersisterhood.com or iwondersisterhood@gmail.com as well. So so now we're going to end this this long video with just sharing a couple things with you. So Gabby, I had an Abby on my mind. Gabby, Mistress of the Dark Moon, was sharing that she had bought a book, and you know what the book was called, and I left her a message too. The book was called The Feast of the Morgan, of the goddess the Morgan, and she was saying she had no idea why she even purchased that book, because she had never worked with the Morgan. She didn't even know anything about the Morgan, and fortunately I had listened to quite a few people who do work with the Morgan, and she's also considered one of the dark goddesses. The Morgan. But I shared with Gabby that I heard from so many people, listening to so many people, that the Morgan calls to you. You don't call to her. She calls out to you. And so I said, maybe she's calling you, girl. You know, but yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the Morgan, but I do know a tiny bit, and so I love the fact that that you shared that you got that book and you weren't really sure why the heck you bought it, because it wasn't like the other stuff that you've been, you know, really checking out. So you know, so the Morgan calls to you, you know, so maybe she just wants to introduce herself and then, you know, see how your relationship goes. So, but I wanted to share with everybody too. So, like Gabby, I too am drawn to the darker side of paganism and witchcraft and life. And you know, as Andy and I talked about this morning, everybody has light and dark within them. We all have aspects of both things. There may be a scale in which some of us are more drawn to the night and to the moon energy. Some are more drawn to maybe lunar energy. Some people may actually have a balance. So it's not a thing that separates you from anybody or alienates you from anybody, whether you say you call yourself light or dark, you know. But I am drawn to darker energy, and this is a book that Auntie got me called Nocturnal Witchcraft. I had seen it and heard how great it was. The author's name is Constantinos. I've heard it pronounced Constantinos or Constantinos. So I don't know which he uses, but that's his name. So it's Nocturnal Witchcraft, Magic After Dark. And I just want to say that I started reading it last night because I do come alive in the late evening and the night. Usually I really don't go to sleep until about 1 or 2 sometimes, depending, you know, like really get into a real sleep. But I become charged and I feel so great, like between like 9 and midnight. I feel so wonderful. And so this book is just great, and as I read the intro last night and a part of chapter 1, I was like, this is so for me. And the main thing that I love about it is that he immediately talks about how when people say that they're drawn to the darker side of spirituality, that people associate that with evil, and that it has nothing to do with that. There's good and evil, there's light and dark. The light and dark aspects of our lives don't have anything to do with evil. They can. If you consider yourself to be evil and you want to work with evil, then that's your thing, of course. But you can be either light or dark.
Okay, close.
When it comes to the path, when it comes to the path that you choose. So anyway, wonderful book. I don't know if any of you have read it, but it's called Nocturnal Witchcraft, Magic After Dark. And it's not just some fatty thing. I mean, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's full of light and dark, and I just love it. So as I continue to read it, I'll share with you. Okay, Andy. Andy has a deck.
I got a new tarot deck that I think I am going to adore. Chloe wants her dinner.
All right, Chloe.
It's called the Revelations Tarot. Chloe, hush. And one of the most unique things about it is that it has reversals on it. For example, here's the Fool, right side up. And if you turn it around, there's another Fool as a reverse.
Wow. I love it.
So it really helps you work with reversals. Chloe, hush.
And it comes with a wonderful companion book. I'm really starting to be drawn to decks that actually have a real book. So, this is, and the deck, by the way, is by Zach Wong, and this is the book that comes with it.
And it's beautifully illustrated. I mean, the paintings are glorious.
They really are. And I love the way that it has its own reversals, because I'm not a fan of using reversals. But with this deck, I can see how it would be inspiring.
Yeah.
So that is the Revelations Tarot. I work with the Deviant Moon Tarot, the Deviant Moon, which I love, love, love since like the beginning of the summer. And I just ordered the Housewives Tarot because I like kitsch. You know, I like kitschy stuff, and so I'm looking forward to that. Oh, and then, hello, Candy Hall. I'm turning into like a 12-year-old again. So anyway, we're going to spare you from Chloe because she's ready to eat. So we want to thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you.
Connect with us, iwondersisterhood.com. If you want to email us, we're iwondersisterhood@gmail.com. Ask us anything, talk to us about anything. Please subscribe and comment, and we hope that, you know, we're sharing with you things that are entertaining, educational, and a lot of wisdom of everyday life. So anyway, thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.